Welcome to Glam Year. Hi, this is Dr. Tabitha Samir.
All right, I feel like I've already been talking about these guys all day. I have from reality TV to one of the top podcasts out there, Heather and Terry Dubrow. You know them from everywhere. Welcome.
Thanks.
It's
Thanks
great
for having us.
And by the way, congratulations. I want to dive right in. #1 on Amazon, your book, The Dubrow Diet.
Isn't that amazing?
Congrats.
It just came out yesterday.
We're
That's
so excited.
amazing.
Last night we hit #1.
That's fantastic. So these guys, you guys, this is your second book together.
It is.
You guys are very busy as a couple, okay? So I just want to let everybody know, as a team, you're known as Mr. and Mrs. Guinea Pig.
Yeah.
Can you explain, because I get it, but what does that come from?
So Dr. and Mrs. Guinea Pig is us going out in the world
Yeah.
and testing everything, health, wellness, and beauty
Yeah.
on ourselves. Now, some couples, they hike together or they build like model airplane. Do people
Yeah,
do that? They
maybe.
build stuff together.
Dominoes.
But for us, Terry has his career, I have my career.
Yes.
But together, the way we connect is we have projects together.
Yes.
So we have a podcast together, Dr. and Mrs.
Dr.
Guinea
and
Pig,
Mrs. Guinea Pig.
and we have our skincare and supplement line,
Yeah.
Consult Beauty, that we sell on Evine, and we write books. So our
Yes.
new book, The Dubrow Diet, I would say personally, out of everything we've collabed on together, except maybe the kids. They're a collab, right?
Yeah, right.
Except the kids. This is the thing I am most excited about.
Yeah.
It's very personal to us.
I've been watching a lot of your interviews the past couple of days because I'm fascinated with this diet, because it's, everybody comes out with a diet book.
Right.
You guys talk about sustainability, all right? What is the difference between this diet and a lot of the other ones out there? It's the first question people are asking.
We actually hate to refer to it as a diet because
Yeah.
it's really more of a lifestyle.
Yeah.
This is basically a way to lose weight very quickly, to go into what's called autophagy, which is a scientific process that was actually given a Nobel Prize for 2 years ago, this discovery, that if you eat at certain time intervals and then you don't eat during other time intervals, your body goes into this anti-inflammatory state where you have cell renewal, where you're not hungry, where everything just works better and you use fat as fuel. That's the key.
that's-
What if I told you, I have a plan for you where you're going to get to your goal weight very quickly and you're going to have more energy and your skin is going to be beautiful and your hair is going to grow? That's the Dubrow Diet. Wouldn't you say, hey, I'll try that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It just sounds so too good to be true. People have tried Atkins, they've tried keto, and they can't keep up that diet. They've tried low-calorie diets. You're talking about this being a lifestyle. That's impressive.
Well, what you're talking about is exactly the point, is that we actually believe all diets work. If you go on a diet, you're going to lose weight. The problem is we're talking about sustainability.
Yeah.
The Dubrow Diet is attainable and sustainable.
Well, every one of those diets you're referring to has a very specific, strict food plan. Like the
Yeah.
keto diet, very high
Yeah.
fats,
Got to choke down oil.
very
Yeah,
low
but- yeah,
proteins. Whether it's the fruit diet or the cabbage diet,
Right.
they're not sustainable. This is using your normal food lifestyle in a particular way that allows you to eat the way you want to eat, but you have to eat it during these time intervals. And then we help you using science and technology
Right.
to get through these periods of time, which are sort of initially a little bit challenging, to allow you to break fat up as your food source, and it gives you energy, and you are in control of your appetite.
Plus, we teach you how to cheat.
Yes.
Yes.
I think some of the problems with the diets, because we get asked a lot about keto,
Yeah.
is that it's like a balloon, and if you pop the balloon, it's
Everything's
over.
done, yeah.
You're out of your ketotic state. It's not an everyday longevity diet.
Right.
We do call it a diet, but it really is a lifestyle. We teach you how to cheat. We teach you how to incorporate
Right.
this eating system into your life in a way that is incredibly doable.
I know that you guys have talked about cheat days and your favorite cheat foods, and yours is pasta and yours is chips. Is that what
Yes.
I'm hearing? 'Cause I've done
Done
my
your
homework.
research.
I sure have.
Wow.
I mean,
And
because-
last night I had pasta. Just so
yeah,
you know.
well, because I've done, when I have to diet, I do low calorie. It's a lot
Yeah.
of just, I know that works.
Yeah.
But after 6 months, I dream of food. I
Right.
dream of ice cream.
But
And
see, we
so-
shouldn't have to
yeah.
live that way.
Yeah.
That's the whole deal. The deal is that we want you to have all the foods you love. We just are teaching you how to eat them and when to eat them. So
them.
that you can just live your life like this.
So it's like you're making an appointment with your food.
exactly.
It's true.
Okay.
You're basically taking food off the table,
Yeah.
no pun intended.
Yeah.
It's not a low-calorie diet. We don't want you
That
to
was
eat
my
too
next
many
question.
calories.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
If you eat during these specific time intervals when you're not eating, you're preferentially, as opposed to using the sugar from your foods,
Right.
which you get in low calorie, you're not using your sugars. You've already gone through the sugar stores in your body, and you're going directly to your fat stores. That's why you lose weight every single day on this diet.
Right. And so we've had people say to us, oh, well, you have a chef, or you probably have trainers.
Excuses to make it seem like it's easier.
Yeah,
Right.
like you have
Right.
some secret recipe, some secret sauce. So what we did was we took 100 people and we put them on the Dubrow Diet. We put them in a controlled group.
Is this Facebook?
Yes.
Yes, I saw this. That's great.
So there's a private, now we have a public Facebook group for people to join and share stories and recipes and whatnot. But this private group was incredible. And there, I'm going to have Terry tell you the results, but there were no trainers, there was no chefs.
Everyday people.
This was everyday people doing it on their own, because that's the test. Yeah, I mean, by the way, if you have someone dogging you on your food every 5 seconds and working you out every, for hours a day, I think anyone can do that.
Yeah.
But how does a real person live this lifestyle?
We basically handle it like a clinical study. We gave them the book and we didn't interfere with them because we could have said, oh, make sure you, but we just gave them the book.
No.
There were 100 people on the diet for 6 months. The average weight loss was 48 pounds.
Wow.
The least lost amount of weight was 33. The most was 85. And we gave them a survey. 98% said this was the easiest lifestyle plan they've ever been exposed to.
It's been really exciting. And one couple in particular, Tammy and Greg, we took with us on a few workouts, and we've been hanging out with them a little bit. Again, we didn't give them any special treatment.
No special treatment.
They did the diet on themselves, but we've been on E-News with them, sort of showing their transformation. And their reveal is actually going to be next week. Now, he's lost 86
Or 88 pounds.
88 pounds.
Wow.
But what's really cool about it is when you hear these stories about how you're giving people their lives back. So I think they had been on the diet 3 or 4 weeks, and Tammy, wife, had emailed me a picture of Greg sitting at a table eating. And I went, wow, he looks great, terrific. She goes, no. This is the first time he's been able to fit in a booth in years.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow, that's
15
amazing.
years.
And so something
Amazing.
you take for
You don't think
granted,
about
just
it.
being able to sit down in a restaurant and sit across from your significant other.
You feel bad when you don't look like your best. When clothes don't fit,
Right.
when life doesn't fit, you feel bad about that.
Well, confidence is a big deal. I mean,
Yeah.
beauty is confidence. When you feel confident, you can walk out into the world as your best self and accomplish the things you want. So what we've done with the Dubrow Diet is taken this incredible science and put it in a way that is so doable for everyone.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've been asked about is there's intermittent fasting.
Exactly.
That's something that people have asked and tweeted me about. How does that compare to what you guys are talking about?
This is a form, a very modified scientific form of intermittent fasting that's very usable, but during the fasting periods, we actually tell you what you actually can eat. So it's not a complete fast.
Gotcha.
It's been shown you can have a certain amount of calories. Under a certain level, you're still fat burning.
Gotcha.
So you're still
Really?
essentially fasting your
That's really good to
body.
know.
Because the thing is, when you think about the word fasting, I think it scares people because
Yeah.
it sounds like
Well,
very
you're not eating.
It sounds like very skinny, tired people.
does.
That are like
Zombies.
reclining in a chair somewhere, like, oh
Yeah.
no, I'm great.
Great.
I feel fabulous.
This air is filling me up. Yeah.
Right, so that's why we call it interval eating, because we want you to have
Yeah,
calories. And
yeah.
it sounds so counterintuitive, but when you get into this program, you have more energy.
So this book is literally, and I don't like using that word lightly, literally an instruction guide on how to eat with this method
Yes.
to look good, feel good, lose weight quickly. It's an instruction guide.
It absolutely is. And it's funny, when we started, we've been living and eating like this for about 3 years.
Yeah.
And we didn't actually intend to write, this wasn't intended to be our next book. We just were living like this and talking about the science and honing this program. And we started posting pictures on vacation in bikinis.
And the six-pack over here,
the
both of you
six-pack
guys.
And the whole thing. And Terry just turned 60.
And happy birthday, 60.
Thank you.
Six
Kill
pack
me.
at 60.
It's true.
Officially old.
Six pack at 60. I'm going to be 50 in January.
Yeah.
And people are saying, how do you have these ageless bodies?
Yeah.
And what are you doing? And I said, you know what? Let's write it down. Let's tell everyone
Yeah.
how we're doing this, because there is a trick to it, and
Yeah.
we want to teach everyone.
And the anti-aging benefits, like I just have to say, you had 4 kids, you have a 6-pack. You're 60-year-old surgeon. Surgeons are not supposed to have 6-packs.
No, no.
Okay?
Yeah.
You guys are kind of a living example of the anti-aging benefits. Can you talk about that a little bit?
So it really has to do with that process I referred to earlier called autophagy. And that's what the Nobel Prize 2 years ago was given for. This discovery that if you have a sustained period where you're not eating, your cells, rather than just sort of sit around, they go into this toxin eating mode.
So they eat their own toxins.
They eat their own toxins. You go into cell renewal, cell recycling, and your brain responds, believe it or not, by not being hungry and giving you more energy.
Yeah.
And although it's not an exercise book, we do talk about exercise in the
Yes.
book because we absolutely believe that it's called daily exercise because
Yeah.
you're supposed to do it, you know,
Every day.
Yeah.
And so that's how we live our lives. You have to, it's got to be like brushing your teeth. You got to
Yeah.
put on the clothes, you got to get out, you got to sweat.
Well, you can't outrun a diet,
No.
like you can't. It doesn't matter how much you work out, if you're eating too much, people tend to plateau and not see
Well,
results.
abs are made in
cooked
the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah, mine are definitely in the kitchen right now. I want to talk about your house. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Heather, you did this amazing YouTube, it was like a movie on your
Isn't it
YouTube
incredible?
channel. Yeah, what's the name of your YouTube channel? Heather's Closet.
It's called Heather's Closet, yeah. And so, I've gone from fashion to vlogging to all kinds of things. But everywhere I go, people say, two
house.
things to me. They say, oh, we love your podcast, Heather Dubrow's
Yeah.
World, and are we ever seeing your house?
Yes.
And finally, I was like, I didn't think anyone cared anymore, but apparently they do.
Yeah.
So instead of just doing a quickie tour and
with a cell phone.
yeah, with a cell phone and running around and just, videotaping it super fast, I decided I wanted to invite you all in.
Yeah.
The same way if one of my friends comes over or a new person and has never seen the house, I wanted to invite you in and show you every little detail.
Yeah.
So that's what I've done. So I think it turned out to be about 10 or 11 episodes.
It's stunning. I have to ask, when you build a house, what is the saying? Build a house,
Lose a spouse. Right.
How did this take a toll on the two
That's
of you?
a very good
Okay,
question.
so the last house we built was 14,000 square foot,
Yeah.
and we had some disagreements
Yeah.
and so on,
Yes.
and maybe
It's
a
normal.
couple. Yes.
Yeah.
This house is 22,000 square feet, but I bought the lot, and I said to her, she didn't know I bought the lot. It's this beautiful ocean view lot. It's incredible. And I said, here, build the next house.
Wow.
And she
Okay.
said, under one condition.
Yeah. Well, in the last house, I made Terry sign off on everything. Sign this tile, so I had proof,
Yes.
right? Sign the tile, sign the fabric, sign this, sign
That's
that.
a good idea, by
Right.
the way.
But here's the problem. He hated like 30% of the house.
Yeah.
So I figured the algorithm was probably going to be about the same, even if I didn't ask him anything. So I said, all right, I'll build the house, but I'm doing it my way, and I don't want to hear from you. And even still, he'd walk in the house while we were building and go, aren't those beams dark? And I'm like, just relax,
Remember our agreement.
wait it out.
Yep.
And I thought he'd hate 30%, but
I like 100% of the house. The house is
Whoa.
flawless. And you know what's interesting? The last house we had a designer to help us. This house, much bigger project, much more complicated. We had no designer. She designed every square
Wow.
foot of this house.
That's
yeah,
a
every
lot.
edge
That's
detail,
amazing.
every stone, every molding. I drew out everything.
Everything. And you were in charge of all of that, and he just kind of let you do it without.
Well, listen, he was in charge of two things. Truth be told,
Okay,
he was
yeah.
in charge of two things. He was in charge of lighting and sound.
do you like lighting? To be
Fail.
I'm very
light-
sensitive to lighting,
okay.
but
Until it was his job, and then all of a sudden
And then-
he was sure someone else was going to handle
I
it.
didn't look at the house the last 6 months when sort of all the finishes come
When
in.
like
and
the
I walk,
lighting
Yeah,
goes
when
in.
and
the
then I
lighting
walk
goes
in, I go, I don't like the lighting, and so I had to get like a Vegas lighter
Yeah?
to redo the whole lighting. It was a pain.
okay.
But
and
the
then I
only-
did the movie theater,
You did. Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah,
the
he
sound,
did a great job.
the audio visual. You
Gotcha.
did the design.
I designed it, but he
Yeah.
did all the equipment.
Well,
he did a great job.
You can see all of it on your YouTube channel, Heather's Closet. But I want to ask you guys, I kind of feel like I know the answer, but what are your favorite rooms in your house? If you guys could pick a favorite.
You know, I would normally answer the movie theater
Yes,
because
I
that's
thought you
where
were
I
gonna
like to
say.
go. But
Yeah.
you know, truthfully, where I spend most of my time, it's where my kids grow up.
Oh.
You know, is the living
Living.
Kitchen
the
family.
kitchen family room. Thank you. Kitchen family room is this really big open space
Yeah.
that, although very, very large, you can see on Heather's Closet.
Yeah.
It's super livable,
Yeah.
super homey. It's really comfortable
That's
being
nice.
there. Yeah.
I love every room in the house, and even though the house is large, we actually use every room in the house except one.
Which?
We don't use the dining room.
Yeah.
Because we love our kitchen family room so much, but that's where you've seen the pictures of my champagne wall.
Yes.
Okay, so
Champagne wall, everybody.
champagne wall.
Yes.
it's pretty.
True.
It's pretty epic.
Yes.
But if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see recently I had like a gazillion bottles of Veuve Clicquot, or it was on Terry's Instagram.
Yes, she moved him from the champagne wall
like a kitchen countertop.
into the butler's kitchen so
the
she could redo.
Because
the-
I'm redoing the champagne wall. I came up with this idea I designed and drew out, and this cool company called Lucive in LA fabricated it for me, and it's kind of like, it's hard to explain, but it's almost like champagne jewelry.
Whoa.
And it's going.
I
on
cannot wait
It's
to see
going
the
in
reel.
right now, actually.
So we get to
we're
see
gonna,
that.
Oh yeah, I'm going to show you the before and after on the
love
YouTube
it.
channel. You can tell me if you think, was it worth it? I
Well,
think so.
you guys have done, speaking of your YouTube channel, I'm a huge fan of your podcast.
Thank you.
And both of you guys have you have 2 separate podcasts.
Heather Dubrow's World.
And then we have one together.
Dr. and Mrs. Guinea Pig.
Yes.
You're doing amazing with your podcast. What's
2 million downloads
insane.
a month.
That's
Over
insane.
500,000 downloads a
I
week.
read the numbers and I'm like, congratulations. That's no small feat.
I think I got involved with podcasting a bit on the early side.
Yeah.
And
Before it became like everyone had one.
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
it became like a thing. And what was funny was my agent said to me, he's like, you need a podcast. And
Yeah.
I was like, huh, okay, what's that? Because I kind of went from the rotary dial to the iPhone. Terry
Yeah.
handed me one day and I was like, okay, there's buttons, I don't know. And so I started doing it and I fell in love with podcasting
Yeah.
and the audience and what a cool way to talk to
connect.
people and
Yeah.
connect. And I started a hotline recently where people can text
you.
me, call me, and every once in a while I answer the phone.
That's
because
great.
it's just
They
sitting
must
on my
love
desk
that.
at home and I'm like, hello, and they're like, is this you? I'm like, yeah. I was just sitting here paying a
That's
bill.
amazing.
Thought I'd say hi. I love it. So proud of that show.
And also, having been on Bravo and having that family of people that
Mm-hmm.
you are, you can have people come in that are your friends.
Mm-hmm.
So we're TV personalities, but they're also your friends. Like you and Jenny McCarthy, I really enjoyed
Yeah.
watching you there. You guys are friends, so you get to see like that little behind the scenes of your friendship. So it's pretty cool.
It is. It's fun. And I love the idea of being able to show people who've been watching me on television for a number of years, whether it was scripted TV before Housewives
Yeah.
or Housewives. It's just sort of a raw or more
Yeah.
unfiltered
Yeah.
version.
You forget that you're being taped when you're podcasting.
Well, yeah, because it's funny. I thought when I first started, I thought, oh, I need content. I
Yeah.
need segments. I need lots of guests. I
Right.
need to do all this stuff. And Drew Pinsky, Dr.
Yeah.
Drew, said to me, he goes, no, because people just want to hang out with you
Yeah.
for an
Isn't
hour
that
or so.
cool?
And I was like,
It is cool.
huh.
Cool.
I'm like, they do? Okay.
Like,
and
who
so,
knew?
but
Yeah.
who knew? But
And here you are, 2 million downloads. And Dr. and Mrs. Guinea Pig, I have to ask.
We're at 35.
35. But
No, 2 million a month.
2 million a
a
month.
month.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I remember you guys did like a leeching thing.
Yes.
What is the weirdest thing that you've had to try as a guinea pig and a doctor guinea pig?
I would say the anal vaginal
Oh,
steaming.
the anal vaginal steam.
That
right.
was it,
Because
yeah.
Gwyneth
Feel like-
Paltrow said she steamed
Yeah.
her vagina. And we
So
were
we
like,
tested
huh?
whether it made a
What?
difference bacteriologically, physiologically. It didn't. It was
It
just
didn't.
BS.
It's just BS, right?
And it was very sweaty.
yeah.
Yeah, gross.
Just want to towel off afterwards, I imagine.
Yeah, ew.
Oh no, we were leaving the place and the gal that was doing it, she was like, oh, you don't want to shower
Oh, I
for
would-
like 12 hours. I was like, that's the first thing I want to do.
Yeah.
Shower.
So here you have it. Anal vaginal steaming was the
Not so
worst
good.
thing
Don't do
I've
it.
ever done. I love it. So I'm a huge fan of you guys, and Botched is one of my favorite shows.
Thank you.
His too.
It's one of my favorite. I have to ask, when you are there and you're seeing these people, I have both of you, what is the most memorable Botched person? I mean, you must be watching this thinking, what's going on too?
Yeah, I would think Raji.
Raji.
Raji in the first season came to us with silicone. Not even silicone, not medical grade silicone, but concrete from a
Oh, my
plumbing
goodness.
supply store.
Oh, my
injected in her
goodness.
face. Had
Oh,
all,
I know this woman. Yeah.
Yes, and so no one, she went to 10, 15 plastic surgeons and everyone was afraid to touch her. And so were we on the first season. So we said, it's probably better left alone. But I couldn't leave her like that. And for the next year, I thought about her every single day. And then about 4 o'clock in the morning one night, I said, I've got it. I had an epiphany. I had a solution that I thought would work. We brought her back on the second season and operated on her.
beautiful thing,
And it
yeah.
actually worked.
Yeah, I
And
remember
she was
that.
just such a lovely girl.
Yeah.
And I remember being in Terry's office, not on camera, but off camera. She was in the office with her mom.
Yeah.
And just like the sweetest woman.
Yeah.
Mom was so, loving,
Mm-hmm.
and it was amazing to see. I'm so glad that,
Sweet.
that
I
you were
remember
able to do
her.
that for
I
her.
remember her. I kind of feel like you guys have this whole marriage business thing figured out. I think we need a book on that. You guys
Funny
have-
you should
Funny
tell-
you should mention that.
Yes.
We've been sort of rolling around the
We're
idea.
concept-
You guys have
Yeah.
4 kids. You work together. You play together, and you still like each other. You
Yes.
gotta give us your secrets.
Well, the secret is I'm sweet and easygoing.
That's our joke. And shy.
And shy.
Keep forgetting shy, honey.
Right. Yes. That's what I was thinking, right?
Yes, he's
Of course,
very
the
shy.
sweet, shy
Yeah.
woman. What does
I'm weirdly a little bit shy, don't you think?
No,
Okay,
you don't like people. That's not shy.
That's not true.
You guys are
A
great.
little bit.
Well, he's a scientist. You know?
I am.
We don't,
Yes.
you know.
No, but I have to
serious.
say, we're very lucky. Look,
Yeah.
we've been together. December 7th will be the 22-year
Oh, my
anniversary of our
goodness.
first date, our
my
blind date.
goodness.
And look, we love each other. We have great marriage. We go through the same ebbs
Yeah.
and flows as
Oh, yeah.
everyone. We've been through difficult times. But it's a leap of faith, and
Yeah.
we've gotten very lucky. But one thing that, two things I think we've done really well is the first thing is we find ways to connect. So
Yes, that's
some
important.
people, have hobbies they do together. We like to work. And so we write our books and we do our podcasts. We make sure we have date night.
We have. You know how there's the science to the Dubrow
Yeah.
book, and that's why it's revolutionary, and
Yeah.
that's why a guy won a Nobel Prize for
Yeah.
the concepts behind it.
Yeah.
There really is a science behind relationships, and we feel like we have figured out over the years the science of a relationship and how to plan, how to make it work, and how to get through the struggles. Because if you don't think you're going to have struggles, you don't think you're going to
Yeah,
fight,
yeah.
you're kidding yourself.
Yeah.
Of
So
course you are.
you have to understand and appreciate how to get through the difficult parts as well as the good parts.
I feel like that's a preview to your next book.
Right?
It might
Could
be.
be.
But in the meantime, I'm really excited about this, and what a pleasure meeting the two of you.
Thank you.
I'm very excited. Number one, congratulations.
Thank
Go
you.
buy it on Amazon right now, and Barnes and Noble. Get it on there.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Or your local bookstore.
Our local bookstore. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye.
This is Glamier.